Hey guys, Abby here. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're talking all about elemental wells. I'm going to go into detail on where to find these mods, what they do, how to make a potential build around it. I know a couple of my previous videos I was using elemental wells in my Titan build and my Hunter build. If you want to check those videos out after you watch this one to understand what elemental wells are, then definitely feel free to do so. But if you are a new player and you have no idea what elemental wells are, this is the video for you. I also have videos on Charged with Light and Warmind Cell mods, so if you want to check those out, you can as well. And if you need an overview of what armor mods even are in Destiny, I also have a video for that as well. Alright, with that out of the way, let's dive into elemental wells. Destiny introduced elemental well mods in 2021, year 4, and has expanded the roster of mods every single season that has been put out this year. Currently, there are about 24 different elemental well mods that span across 3 seasons that we've had this year. So what are elemental wells? Elemental wells are basically little pools that drop when you perform whatever the action is on the mod, and picking up these little pools is going to grant energy to your ability with the lowest current energy. But if you pick up an elemental well and it matches your subclass damage type, so if you are on Blade Barrage and you pick up a solar well, it will grant energy to all your abilities regardless of the cooldown. So elemental wells are great mods to use if you want to have a lot of uptime on your abilities. And they're not only great for ability regen because we can combine a lot of these elemental mods in order to get other effects like increasing our energy weapon output, making us charged with light, giving us more damage resistance, and increasing our super recharge rate. To see all the mods and where they come from, you're going to want to go to your collections tab and then over to mods, down to combat style, and then scroll over a few pages and you'll start to see them here on the 3rd and 4th page. All of these are well mods. Now, if you're curious where to find these mods, all you have to do is look at the source within the collection. Like we can see, Font of Might is from the war table. I also made another handy dandy infographic for you guys to show you which elemental mods come from which vendor in the Helm. So you're either going to need to go to the war table, the Splicer servitor, or the Wayfinder's Compass, and of course you do need to have these season passes purchased or the deluxe upgrade in order to get these from these vendors. Since the year is coming to a close in a few months, Bungie may add these mods into Ada or Banshee's rotation, or maybe even Raoul. Now that they're going to have Spider inventory, they may get a mods rotation as well. So keep an eye out for that. That's what happened with the Charged with Light. They then went into Ada's rotation, so I could see elemental well mods going into that rotation after year 4 is over as well, when Witch Queen comes out. But for right now, this is the only way you can get these elemental mods. So if you don't have previous seasons purchased or the deluxe upgrade, you're not going to be able to get a lot of these mods until they go into that rotation. However, you can get this season's mods through the Wayfinder's Compass. They do rotate, I believe, daily now, so keep an eye out for a lot of those mods. They're excellent mods, especially if you are a Stasis Hunter. Amazing mods like Melee Wellmaker and Elemental Shards. So now that you know what they are and how to get them, let's put together a few example builds using elemental well mods. The simplest build you can do is choosing one mod to create the elemental wells, so elemental armaments, and then equip an energy weapon that matches your subclass. So say I was on Hunter Blade Barrage, which is solar. I equip Vex Mythoclast, which is also solar. Now I'm going to have a chance to spawn elemental wells, solar elemental wells, every time I kill an enemy with Vex. And those elemental wells are going to give me ability energy. Now, in addition to that mod, you could also add Font of Might, which is going to give you a damage boost every time you pick up an elemental well that matches your subclass. It's going to give you a temporary bonus to weapon damage of that same elemental type. Now, Font of Might lasts for 10 seconds unless you have any of the time extender type mods on, but this is a pretty simple build where you're creating elemental wells. When you pick up those elemental wells, it's giving you an increase in damage to weapons with that element. Example number 2 is going to be about Explosive Wellmaker. Now, you can rapidly defeat combatants with explosive damage with your grenade, with your Wither Horde, with your grenade launcher, rocket launcher, whatever explosive damage you can think of. As long as you're rapidly defeating combatants With explosive damage, you're going to spawn a solar elemental well. Now you can also pair this with Well of Life, which is going to give you an increased regen, so your health recovery for a short period of time every time you pick up a solar elemental well. So those go really well together. You can also, instead of Well of Life, you could also use Well of Ordnance. This one is going to give you additional grenade energy. So those are two really great combos as well. Now, if you're on a stasis subclass, Elemental Shards is an amazing mod. It's going to count your stasis shards as stasis elemental wells for you. Now, this doesn't count for your entire team, but it does count for you, and it is extremely powerful. And then another really cool mod that I'm going to mention is Bountiful Wells. This one will basically increase the number of wells that you can drop based on the number of mods you have. But this Bountiful Wells mod counts as kind of a second one. So if you are already creating wells with your grenade and you add Bountiful Wells, now you're creating two. So it's a great way to increase the output of your elemental wells. I go more into detail on Bountiful Wells in my Titan build video, so if you want to learn more about that mod, you can check that out. And then lastly, elemental well mods make it extremely easy to do like hybrid charge with light builds. With this mod Elemental Charge from the war table, it's going to allow you to become charged with light when you pick up an elemental well. If the elemental well matches your subclass, you get ×2 charge with light. So it is a super easy way to get charged with light if you're using Lucent Blade or you're using high energy fire or something else that is going to take use of that charge with light. This can also be useful with protective light as well. So you guys can see there are a lot of different options with elemental well mods. You can check out the other videos, like I said, of some of the builds I've put together with elemental well mods. I really love them. I think they are so much fun. It's nice to do kind of hybrid builds with elemental well mods and charge with light. We'll see next year in year 5 when Witch Queen comes out if they put these mods into the vendors, into Ada or Banshee or some way where you can easily access them on a daily rotation or something. So keep an eye out for that next year if you guys do not have the previous season passes. If you do have the previous season passes, definitely make sure you are building out your collection book for elemental wells because they are amazing. When you start stacking them with your team, they can help a lot in getting your ability regen back. I hope this helps you guys feel comfortable using them. If you have any questions, definitely put them down in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.